Hi, Thomas here with the Rookie's Kitchen. I'd like to thank you for tuning in today. For today's recipe, we have 8 avocados. These are a little bit smaller than normal, so you could use about 5 or 6 large avocados. I have 3 limes, 1 large red onion, 1 head of garlic. We're only going to use about a clove of that though. And 1 bunch of cilantro. First thing I'm going to show you how to do is open an avocado. Now you can do this with 2 different kinds of tools. Chef's knife. If you're confident with one, they are a sharp knife. You could also use a simple paring knife. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and use a chef's knife today so that I don't dirty more than one knife while I'm making this. First thing you want to do when you have a ripe avocado is take the stem off and get that out of your way. Then, holding it down on the board, you want to cut into it till you feel the pit. Work your way around the pit, keeping the knife pointed at the cutting board and away from you. Pop it open and there's our pit. Take the knife. You can smack it into it if it's stiff. If it's loose like that, you can just reach in and pull it out. The next thing you want to do is take your spoon, scoop out the inside, and put it in a bowl. We're going to repeat this process for all the avocados we're using in this recipe. For me, it's going to be about 8 of them. My avocados are slightly smaller than what you might find in your grocery store, so I'm using more. You may only want to use 4 or 5 if your avocados are a little bit larger. Once you've got all your avocados opened up and in a bowl, we're going to take the juice of 3 limes and put them on top of it. This is going to do 2 things. It's going to add flavor, but in addition, it's going to help keep it from turning brown. This is one of the secrets they use in some of the larger restaurants that they don't talk about, but it helps keep the color. So we're going to squeeze this right in, all over it. Okay. If you have a citrus reamer or another juicing tool, you're more than welcome to use it. I just hate to dirty any extra dishes beyond what I have to, so I go for the simplest way possible. 1 knife, a cutting board, and a couple of tools. Looks like for this batch, 1.5 is going to be enough. You just want to make sure you've got a good even coverage of juice. You don't want too much because it will become overpowering. Set those off to the side. Wipe our hands off real quick. The next thing we're going to want to do is take a head of garlic, squeeze it, see if we can get some of the paper off. We need 1 clove of fresh garlic. Okay. So if you see right here, we've got the cloves, and I'm just going to pop one out. Set the rest aside. We're not going to need that today. And there's a couple different ways to peel it. If it doesn't just fall off like mine did, you can always take the edge of your knife, smash it. That'll help break it up as well as get the peel off. We're going to take that little bit from where the roots were, which is the bottom. Anything from right here on your head of garlic, you want to cut that little bit off because it doesn't taste very good. Then we're going to chop it really fine. You want to make sure you get it really good and fine. Nobody wants to bite in to a great big piece of garlic. You want the flavor there, but you don't want people biting straight in. To great big chunks of garlic. So we give it a really nice rough chop. Doesn't have to be perfect. When it's all mixed in, you're not even going to see it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Put that in on top of the avocado. And the next thing, we're going to use half of a red onion. So we'll cut the onion directly in half. Okay. Set one half off to the side. We'll use that later. While trying to keep our board clean, I know onions can be very messy with the outer paper. Papery skin. We're going to cut the bottom off and cut through the top like so. We're going to go ahead and discard that too. And we're going to try to peel off this first outside layer like so. You don't have to peel as much off as I do, but I like to make sure I get all of the papery bits off and the outside of the skin. It doesn't taste very good inside your guacamole, and it's just not something I like to have in there. Now we're going to take the onion, slice down through it multiple times, and this is just going to speed up our dicing process. So, we want to try to chop this really finely as well, because again, you don't want giant chunks of onion just like you don't want giant chunks of garlic. Once you have it to your personal preference, we're going to take about half of it, put it in, and we're going to hold on to the other half to see if we need it. Okay. I'm just going to take a fork and mash the avocado all together and mix everything up. If you're using ripe avocados, this process should go fairly quick. Now I always like to leave mine just a little bit chunky. I like to get a little bit more on my chip when I eat it. And I can do so by leaving it a little bit chunky. Plus, it makes it easier to make. So you just want to work it until it's to a consistency that you like. And as I'm looking at mine, I don't see a really good distribution of red onion. So I'm going to take that last bit of the half a red onion and I'm going to go ahead and put it in. We're going to work that around really well. Keep working the guacamole till we get it to a nice consistency. Now that looks good to me. Again, I like mine a little bit chunkier and a little bit heartier. Once you get that worked around and mixed in really well, we're just going to take a little bit of fresh cilantro, cut the stems off. We don't need that really big stem. And then, much like we did the garlic, we want to get this in a really fine chop. It only takes a little bit of fresh cilantro. Sprinkle it over. And then you just want to gently mix that in. And there you have it. Delicious, homemade, from scratch guacamole made from fresh, wholesome ingredients. Now before we get to enjoy that, we need to take a minute, make sure we clean up. Good knife care is key. Don't put them in a dishwasher. Hand wash them and then back into the knife block. Wipe your cutting board down, wash up any other tools you may have used. Once it's done, you get a bowl of your favorite tortilla chips. I have white and blue corn organic tortilla chips, but you can use whichever one's your favorite. And then, of course, being the one who made it, you get the first taste test. Very good. It's not going to taste like what you're used to in the stores, because we don't have all those extra flavors and preservatives, artificial flavors, and that kind of stuff. But I guarantee your next party, if you serve up some of this fresh guacamole, everybody will be a fan. And be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And let us know down in the comments anything you'd like to see. Be sure to check the description for the exact ingredients I used today, as well as our Facebook page, where you can go over there and like and follow us and get updates on what our next show is going to be about. So until next time, I'll see you guys again soon.